What's going on, guys? Coming at you with the last video in the Koja Explained series, at least for now, with the End of Oblivion stuff. So what I'm going to do pretty much is do like a riff dissection, pretty much, kind of, for you guys. Nothing like super crazy. It's not really anything really complicated, but just going to show you the riffs. I'll put the tab and the music up on the screen, and I'll just show you guys what it looks like when it sounds like, pretty much how it all came about. So it's nothing really super crazy. It's kind of just a lot of power chord shapes with a bunch of octaves, just like kind of sounding really dissonant. Nothing super crazy, super complicated. It was my first time playing these riffs since I wrote and recorded the song, so that was kind of cool, getting back into it. I have this Jackson 7-string right here. This is actually not the guitar that I recorded an EP on. I actually used my buddy's Baritone Agile for that, but I have this bad boy here, rocking it in drop A. So here's the first riff. Okay, so that riff is actually pretty simple. It was just a D, G sharp, D, and a G. I didn't want to go that extra octaves. I wanted to sound atmospheric, but I still wanted it to sound kind of dissonant. It's the first riff you really hear in the song. It's the opening riff, and I just wanted to kind of go along with the artwork I chose for it as well. It's just a really atmospheric riff, and it kind of brings you in. That little dissonance really kind of has like a kind of eeriness to it, and as it just brings you in, I just wanted that to really be impactful. So that's that first riff right there. All right, the second riff is the riff where all the vocals start. This is where the "is it in you, is it in me," like those vocals, that's where that comes along. So this is that riff right here. It's just really kind of like, since I'm in drop, it's kind of just a power chord shape, and instead of doing like the root and the fifth, you do like the root, and then you just put a finger down that same fret, and then you hit what would be the fifth right there. So here's that riff. Alright, the third riff is just going to be pretty much more of the same. This shape pretty much repeats the rest of the song, just in different frets. This one's just going to be a C, G, D. Same thing, like you do it on the root. Put a finger down on the fret right below that, and below on the string below that, and then just hit that fifth. This is where these two riffs, the riff I just showed you and this riff, kind of alternate, and this is where the two main riffs that make up the first verse pretty much come from. So this is that riff right here. Now this next riff is actually one fret up from the last riff, and this is where I kind of start getting into, the pre-solo part of the song, before that really long, like, insane solo comes in. So I just kind of wanted to keep that same shape, but just go like at a different note on the fretboard I hadn't hit, one that was a little bit higher, just to kind of build that intensity, that tension a little bit, but still keep a little bit of that dissonance and just prepare you for the solo that was coming up. So this is riff number 4 right here. This is going to be a C sharp, G sharp, and a D sharp. Alright, so this next riff is the riff right before the solo kicks in. This riff is actually back on fret 2. Since I was up here really high, I wanted to jump back down there since the solo's on the higher notes. So I just wanted to kind of have that contrast of going from like a higher fret down to a lower fret to really get you, because when that solo comes in, it just hits you really hard. It's really just like, it just blast you. So I was just like, okay, let me go. I got this higher fret here. I'm gonna go down here. So make sure that solo just comes in like as powerful as possible. I kind of ripped that off of Dave Mustaine, how he likes to come out of like minor chords with majors to make his passages sound better. So I kind of ripped that off from him, and just got you really ready for that solo that's gonna come kick in. So this is just B, F sharp, and C. And this is the solo, and this is the riff right before the solo comes in. So this next riff starts on the second part of the solo. There's a bit of a break after I do the dun 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 dun. The second part of the solo comes in with the dun 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 dun. There's like the first part of the solo. The solo is really in like 3 different parts. So this is the second part of the solo. This riff comes in on that part. This is all going to be on the first fret, even lower. Just a simple A sharp, F, and a C right here. All right, so this next part actually comes in 4 bars after the part that I just mentioned. This is the last 4 bars of the second part of the solo here. It just, I decided just like to change it up a little bit, so I just have this playing under it just so I can add a little bit of extra, atmospheric pizzazz or whatever too. Because I kind of felt like the solo may have been like too long, was dragging on, so I was okay, let me not keep it here, let me just move it around a little bit. So this is the last 4 bars of the second part of that solo. Just a simple A, E, and B right here. Alright, so these last 2 riffs I'm going to show you are pretty much the last riffs of the song. After these 2 riffs, pretty much I kind of just like randomly cycle through the first 5 or 6 riffs until the end of the song. So these last 2 riffs occur during the last 4 bars of the third part of the solo. That sounds so ridiculous saying that out loud. I never really went back and like analyzed the song. Like after I wrote it, I just kind of wrote it and like built off of it. But the last part of the solo is 4 bars long. And this next riff comes in for those first 2 bars, because after that second part of the solo, there's another break. So when that solo comes back in for the last 4 bars, there's 2 different riffs that are under it. So this is going to be the first riff that plays with the first 2 of those 4 bars under the last part of the solo. Just a simple F, a C, and a G. Here it is. Alright, a last riff here. This one plays during bar 3 and 4 of the last 4 bars of the solo, in the third part of the solo. It's just a simple E, B, and F sharp just to close it out, and then there's one more break, then the lead guitar comes back in, just playing chords along with the rhythm. And here's that last chord right here. And that is all the riffs for Flooded Reapers right there. After that, I pretty much just start at the 8, then go down chromatically until the song's over, so none of the riffs are new after that. But that was pretty much all the riffs for Flooded Reapers. I didn't do the solo. If you guys want me to do the solo, I can do that and go by that part by part. Just let me know before next Saturday when my Project of Schism series, which is why that shirt is there, drops, and because I'm going to do the same with this, play riffs, explain the meaning behind it, the art and everything. I'm just going to do that with all my projects. I think after Project Schism I have 2 after that, and I have some other ideas I'm working on as well. Yeah, if you guys like this, like, comment, subscribe, and check it out. Let me know what you think. And I hadn't played this since I released End of Oblivion back in like 2020. So I was just, or I think it was 21. So like I was like clipping the tabs off of Guitar Pro, and I was playing them, and I was like, wow, these riffs are like sick. Because I don't really play like guitar too, I don't really play 7-string guitar too much. So I was like, yeah, just no familiarizer. When I saw Pax Familiar, I was like, wow, these sound like sick. And I was playing it through my Yamaha, my THR, and I was like, dude, wow, man, these riffs are good. So I was like, wow, I forgot how much I actually like enjoyed like the riffs and everything. But yeah, if you guys like this, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. If you want me to go through the solo, just let me know, and I will do that. But if not, I will see you guys next week for my Project Schism Explained series. And if you want to listen to any Project Schism or just jam a Flood of Reapers just so you can actually hear what I'm talking about, links to all the music down below. So thank you all so much. I had like a lot of fun, recording this. It was really good having this back in my hands. I actually need to send it to my tech and get it tuned down to drop G, because the 30p is going to be in drop G, so it'll be a little bit heavier, and might have some more, even more atmospheric elements thrown in there. So thank you all for watching. Love you guys. Rock on.